Hello and welcome back to the Gold Advantage on the Best-of-3 network. The summer split is over in the LEC and LCS and basically everywhere in the world, so now we are covering the Worlds. Group stage is going to be happening in NA.
We've been waiting for it all year.
Run over, I think, play-in groups and then to Group A, Group B, and then we'll run through group stages and kind of give you guys a broad overview of the tournament running into it. Next week, we'll be diving deep into the actual kickoff and the play-in stage with individual bets. So keep your eye out for that. But as always, Chris and Scooter with me. How are you guys doing?
I'm just excited. This is what we waited for all year. You know, all of it is fodder until we get here. We're going to be crowning a champion over the next month and a half. And I cannot wait for it to be Cloud9. It's going to be really exciting.
There's no org more destined to win in North America on an international stage than Cloud9. Need I remind all of our fans about the Cloud9 Boston Major in 2018, where they took down FaZe Clan to win the first ever Counter-Strike Major for North America, and the only one to date. So
it's really that's something.
It's an exciting year.
To.
It has to.
Look, this is NA's year.
It's a crucial piece of North American history, just like 2022 Worlds.
Just like the Declaration of Independence in 1776.
Well, we're breaking that every day. So.
This is NA's year. I'm feeling it. You know, we've been to the semifinals before, we being me and Cloud9. And this year we're going to make it to the finals, and we're going to take home the trophy. So, needless to say, the rest of this is, you know,
it's a formality. It's just a formality. They're like going through the steps for Cloud9's win. Yeah,
correct.
All right.
Correct.
Fair enough.
But foreplay matters.
He's about to flip. He's about to flip so hard.
Foreplay matters. So let's get into it.
You can feel him flipping.
I think. Well, this was going to be a question for later, but since you guys want to talk about Cloud9 so much, and I asked this before, and you guys have got all bent out of shape. But what is the minimum acceptable result for Cloud9?
Not this again.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be us because, like, to me, it's just quarters. Like, they have to reach quarters.
I mean,
if they reach quarterfinals and they fail, then I'm fine with it. But, like, I'm not saying they're winning. So to me, it's like quarters is like an acceptable amount.
I very strongly believe quarters.
So you don't. Okay, so they're not that special then. Okay.
No, they are. They're special. Like, look, if they run
into
like a JD Gaming in the quarterfinals,
yeah, they have the hardest group. No, they have the hardest group in the entire tournament. First of all, to start off.
But if you can win it all,
that's
actually
they
have the hardest group because they are the biggest.
I think it is difficult as a team to step up on an international stage. I'm not saying
group, by the
I'm
way.
not.
Look,
in what league?
They are a pool 1 team.
What? They definitely have the group of death.
No, Group B is way worse.
Not group. G2's in shambles and Damn 1's overrated.
Ooh,
look,
all right.
What I will say is the good
Damn
news.
Damn the third best team in Korea.
The good news is you won't be able to get another China or Korea team into Group A.
That's true.
That's true.
All right, so basically quarterfinals is the bar for Cloud9, which I think is reasonable. Not that exciting. It's not great content.
I expect championships.
It is likely that a European team lands in that group, probably. If one gets out, which, I mean, you know, it's in the air if they get out of play-ins.
We'll get into it, but I'm not that worried about Europe and the play-in teams.
All right, Group A play-in. Beyond Gaming, Chiefs, Detonation Focus Me, EG, Fnatic, and Loud. Group B, DRX, Zeus, Mad Lions, RNG, Saigon Buffaloes, and Istanbul Wildcats. What are your guys' predictions? Who do you guys think gets out?
I mean, tough break for Mad Lions, right? Like, you got Korea and China in your group. That fucking sucks.
But they've been shit.
I mean, they'll get top 4. They'll get top 4.
But
the problem is then they have to face off against Fnatic.
I honestly don't know.
It's basically Fnatic or Mad Lions that gets out because they run into each other.
I was reading a clickbaity headline recently about how Elyoya didn't think they deserved to make play-ins.
Unless they come first, then Group A, Group B run into each other.
The second place team in A plays the winner of the third and fourth place teams in B, and the second place team in B plays the winner of the third and fourth place teams in
Yeah.
A.
So unless they come first or I guess second as well.
So if Mad Lions comes in third or fourth, which I expect, then
Yeah.
they're going to be playing.
And if Fnatic comes in
Possibly,
second,
they still have to beat that team again.
Saigon
B.
Buffalo probably.
If they don't do that, which who knows, then they'll be playing the second place team in A, which could
Fnatic.
there's a you think Fnatic could come in second?
So, well, this is what I mean. So unless Mad Lions and Fnatic come first each, or they come second both, they're likely to run into each other. And
We're going deep in it. We got next week for going deep.
well, no,
in
but this is just
dive,
this is just
realistic.
overall predictions. I think so if I'm looking at Playins, I think it's going to be Fnatic. I kind of want to say.
Well, have we heard
Beyond
anything? I haven't noted. I haven't been able to
EG?
see. Do we have any news on Danny? Has anything come out?
It looks like he's not playing.
Doesn't sound like he's gonna play.
Okay. By the way, I think that's fine for play-ins. I think that they will. I will say it right here.
I don't think he's playing across worlds.
No, I know, but I'm saying like I don't. I think Kaori
They get out.
they'll be able
Yeah.
to get out of play-ins with Kaori, and so
It's hard to predict though because we only saw him playing. He's great on Lucian, but you got to say. But then
Great on the Lucian
they've had
Nami
time to-
combo.
Yeah.
Vulcan did say he had a very bad series though.
He did.
So-
Vulcan said that of him.
To be
Critical
fair,
of
it's
himself.
Tough
Critical of
situation to be
himself.
put in. Yeah.
I will suggest EG is going to win Group A.
All right.
I see Beyond coming in second, Fnatic third, and then Chiefs Esports Club fourth. Because why not?
Okay.
The Nation Focus Me will probably be in there, but I want some.
I think
fun
it's a weird
between-
one because Chiefs. I think is it Chiefs that has like they just smashed everyone.
Yeah, in Oceania.
Yeah. I think they were like they had a perfect split or something.
Whereas like Loud
27-0.
wasn't, like they kind of snuck in, I think.
Yeah, I'm not. I have Fnatic, Beyond, EG, and then it's either DFM or Chiefs. It's hard to judge. Like someone like Chiefs, are they actually good or is their region bad? On the other side of things, I think it's going to be RNG. That sounds easy for me. It's like RNG, DRX, Mad Lion. Actually, I would put Saigon Buffaloes and then Mad Lions, or Mad Lions,
Actually,
Saigon
like-
Buffaloes.
You know, a team that usually does okay in these playoff tournaments for me is the Istanbul
Turkey?
Wildcats.
Yeah.
I think that they actually
Yeah.
have a good
always have a
track
decent
record of
league
being
team.
decent. I think RNG sails through this undefeated, wipes the floor. I mean, I remember last year, I think it was, or 2 years ago, when like weird shit was happening and you had like a bunch of these like teams like losing, but a couple random ones. I see RNG getting first. You know, Nikki, before we jumped on, you and I were quickly chatting. Like, DRX is not the world beater that they might have been in previous years. I can easily see them coming in third or fourth.
Yeah.
I like
can see
seeing Mad Lions kind of returning to form and coming in second here, and then
No shot.
a DRX Saigon Istanbul Wildcats coming in third, fourth.
Not
I
happening.
think my issue with like Mad Lions is just that Almut has been such a liability. And if we're going
aren't
into
that
a
good.
mid top centric meta, like top side, I just am like I don't see him doing anything.
Which doing B says we are. So, and I trust that man. So
Well,
if we're headed that way, they're in trouble. Plus, none of them really are that confident. There's interviews where they're like, yeah, we probably didn't need to deserve to make it to play-ins, but here we are, and we kind of want to prove it now. But like that doesn't even sound confident.
no, but that's
like
what you kind of like. People who are humble know that they probably shouldn't be there, but are fucking.
What
gonna
do you
prove
know
it.
about humility?
I'm cool
Not a
with like
fucking
the
thing.
self awareness.
Yeah, I mean,
The
come on.
self awareness to me.
Sure,
is
I'm
good.
cool with the self awareness,
Because
right?
hopefully
But
they're
like,
working on it.
Correct.
it doesn't.
This is
it
right
just
when
doesn't
Mad
scream to me
Lions-
we're the team that is like top two in this.
This is right when this is the position Mad Lions to be in, where no one expects anything of them.
They're not the same team. That's not the back against the wall Mad Lions. That,
Yeah,
like,
but they haven't
digs
been
it
that
out in a
for
series.
a year now.
That's what I'm
so-
saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter if they're put in that position. Like,
Okay.
they're probably not going to perform because it's not the
So
same.
you don't think they're going to make third or fourth place in Group B?
I didn't say that.
that's all I said.
I don't think they're going to come second.
Oh, no, I did say second. You're right.
It's fucking goldfish. Jeez.
Second place. I'm sticking to it. Let's go.
Nah, I mean, DRX and RNG, I would say. RNG is an interesting one because I feel like, I don't know, they came out of MSI. They win that, obviously. They make a roster change immediately afterwards, which was already planned in advance. So, it's got to be weird where they're sitting, like, after all that success to not be in a position where they're already in Worlds. So maybe DRX beats them out for first. I don't know. Something like that. Weird at the top.
The 4 teams that are coming out, RNG, Mad Lions, EG, Beyond Gaming. That's my pick for the 4 teams that are making it out.
All right.
I mean...
Yeah, squabble with me.
Nikki, you want to go ahead?
I have RNG, DRX, Fnatic, and I actually think I'm going to go for like Saigon.
And by the way, I'm 100% biased
I have definitely
with EG. I love that team.
I definitely have RNG DRX.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bold
Like,
predictions.
I don't think
predictions.
EG digs this out.
Yeah, I think that kind of...
Yeah, it's not bold at all. I mean, like, I think both regions are pretty strong this year. People are shitting on Korea a lot for certain reasons, but, like, I think they don't deserve it.
They also don't deserve 4 teams this year, but keep going.
That's just not true. I'm going to say DFM. I think the organization's been to a lot of Worlds and a lot of international events recently. The experience is there. Maybe it kicks in and they get out of play-ins here. And then, I mean, I don't want to say Fnatic, but it's possible. Like, I'll say Fnatic as well.
Sick. Dope.
But I also think that, like, Chiefs, if they are as good as they've come across in their region, then, like, there's a chance that they just kind of smack it around in this group a little bit and make it mixy. So, I don't know. It's up in the air in Group A for me. It's a little bit more risky. I think DFM's for sure, though.
But truth is that, like, I just don't... Outside of RNG, I don't see anyone causing an upset in group stages. I feel like this year's playing groups, like, teams are just, like, not that exciting.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. Great.
they're pretty lame. Like, Fnatic, I mean, Fnatic could come out and maybe be the worst team ever because we just watched them lose a best of 5 and we really never know like what's going on there.
So many issues with that draft.
Should RNG make it out, which they have every intention of making it out, they will be a Group C, or no, they'll be a Group D team, guaranteed, because there's already JD, Top, and Edward. So let's just go ahead and assume that slot in RNG into Group D, which makes that group
flag it, though.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
I do want to flag it. However, there is always a Chinese team that lets the country down.
There is.
So be prepared for that.
That's our Group A team.
You think?
Yeah.
It's entirely possible. I don't know if I was going to go the route of let the world down or let China down, like the LPL. I was going to go more the route of, like, you know, they're all right, but they've had their time in the light. So
look,
I think it's not going to be a letdown.
This is your podcast, but I'm ready to jump into A and just jump right in on this.
All right. Group A, Cloud9, EDG, and T1. This is not the group of death. I think T1 is... The
mediocre.
only reason T1 is relevant is because if it is a top-centric meta, Zeus is like top 2 tops. So he's phenomenal.
He is.
Outside of that,
he also might be... I think he won MVP for Korea this summer.
I mean,
you're also forgetting Oner. Because if it's top, it's top jungle. If it's top, it's top jungle, probably. Yeah. And so Oner then becomes also extremely important. So, Faker will do his job.
Their drafts have been so bad.
They've been all over the place.
So bad.
And the entire country wants to fire their coach.
They have such issues with, like, drafting, getting an idea, a good read of the meta. They've just struggled all summer long, and that makes me very concerned that they're going to be able to adapt quickly to the world's meta, learn what needs to be done, who needs to be played, and play around that. You know what? Like, it's like I have tier S teams and there's tier A teams. T1 is a tier A team. So it's like they're phenomenal and they're definitely, in my opinion, one of the threats to get to, like, semis.
But I don't think we're talking about a tier S team.
No.
We're talking about a Korean team with a lot of time off to learn these things. And I think, like, obviously the drive to win is there. Faker still wouldn't be playing if it wasn't. I do think the top side of the map is significantly stronger than the bottom. I
agree
think
with that.
their drafts were weird, but they were trying to draft into Guma's strengths when
Guma wasn't playing well.
it wasn't exactly the meta to do so, and he wasn't playing well. And I think he did slightly get exposed, as a lot of people thought he was one of the best ADCs in the LCK, and he just probably actually isn't.
Yeah.
And that hurt them a lot. So
Okay.
I don't know. I think he can return to form, and I think 100% with the time off, they'll have an opportunity to get better.
Right.
And that scares me a lot with Korean teams more than it does with Chinese.
I think
teams, honestly.
EDG, another Group A team for me. I think they're really strong. Scout is obviously has a great rep in mid lane, and they have the best, if not the second best, ADC Viper in the bot lane. Very controlled style. I think they're just a very solid team. They're like what
But
people
they
say
did-
the
they-
LCK team in the LPL.
They did, they did come in 5th place during the summer split, and so when it comes to the likes of the RNGs, the JDs, the tops, they are a class below, right?
Yeah.
If you're tier SA tier type stuff.
Yeah.
And I would hope that Cloud9 is going to be able to continue this form. I'm looking right now also at the plans. They are likely going to get probably the winner of the Group A group, and so it'll either be a Fnatic, a Beyond Gaming, a Detonation Focus Me. And so I do think that will bode well for that group. I definitely see a C9 being able to beat a Beyond, a Fnatic, or a DFM. And so, to me, for this group, again, completely biased because, well, it's not a really biased when you know Cloud9 is going to win Worlds, but I do see T1 and Cloud9 making it out.
So this is why it's not Group of Death. It's I actually do think C9 has a real shot here of making it out, because I do.
But they are part of the death.
I think that I think C9's
missing the
clicked
point.
in the right way at the right time. They're just all playing. I think they're talented enough. I'm a bit concerned about players like Jensen and Blaber, who internationally, Jensen is fine, but if he's going into someone like Scout and Faker, will he do his part? Will Blaber have Blaber moments, or will he be MVP Blaber? I hope it's MVP.
Do you think
Blaber.
Fudge will lack confidence in this?
No, I don't think he'll lack confidence. I think he might be overly confident. That's my bigger
He's
issue.
the best
there,
player
is
in
that,
North American history.
I think he's good enough to match into these players, but I'm like, oh, you're going into Zeus, you're going into what's his name, where is he?
Flandre?
That's it. Thank you, Flandre. And I'm like, are they gonna punish you for being cocky? And that's
Wait,
my biggest concern about Cloud9 is is Cloud9 going to be their own biggest enemy?
I think the problem, honestly, is that they've been counted out when they've gotten out of groups pretty much every time, and for now there to be a decent amount of energy around it, this is a decent team.
Yeah.
It is that added pressure that now they can't get out of groups or something. But no, that's not the answer here. I do think that Fudge, if it is to switch to top jungle, Fudge will be entirely fine. Blaber is slightly a concern, and I also think it is disappointing that we won't get to see the same priority on Berserker and Sven in the bot lane moving forward onto an international stage.
I'm actually okay with that, because I think a lot of people when we talk about meta shifts, we act like ADCs can't carry anymore. It's not at all going to be that. It's just we're gonna have more carry top lane as a shift there. I'm kind of alright with that, because I think that takes some of the pressure off of Berserker. So he's so young, he's so mechanically gifted, but he does make mistakes in lanes. Sven and him are still newish at this, and so being able to shift some of the lose the game is a lot of pressure to put on him. In this situation, they can still win through him when he pops off and does ridiculous plays on Zeri or whoever. But I think it balances things out. My prediction here, I actually think T1 and C9 get out.
Okay.
Well, it's interesting because Berserker was a former T1 sub too.
Well, let me weigh in with some odds here.
Or not
T1
sub, but
is
academy player.
1.80. Edward Gaming is 2.10. Cloud9 is 15.0 to win that group.
Yeah.
And then the play-in qualifier, who I don't think will be a strong contender, but 19.0. So, I mean, Cloud9 to win the group at 15. Yes, please. Like a taste. We think they're going to come in second. For sure.
This is my problem with it annoys me that we can only get to win. I would like to actually give the rankings or a second place because I don't think Cloud9 comes in first. But I could see them. I see them like forcing a tiebreaker with the EDG and potentially winning that. That's how I see the upset or losing it.
I
So
guess,
it's like,
I guess
it's a 50.
the way to bet that then, and we'll get into it when we in a couple weeks when it's the right time. But like the way to bet that then is that every time that Cloud9 plays EDG at the beginning, fucking hit Cloud9 because you're going to get fantastic odds because of how disparaged those two are.
Yeah,
you're better off just betting that on a game by game basis and taking Cloud9.
Yeah, that's actually that's a really smart play. Love that. But yeah, I think it's a tiebreaker, and then you have C9 EDG. I am wondering if I'm putting too much on T1 and if their horrible drafting will just nullify any advantage Oner and Zeus have.
I think at the end of the day, it'll come down to the spells on the map.
Scoot, this is your group. So any
I mean,
lost
I still it is the group of death. I think it's the hardest group out there.
I think it's the hardest for Scoot because it's the two children between Cloud9 and T1.
Well, it's not even that difficult because this actually sets up perfectly for the Cloud9 T1 final.
Right.
So that's what you're forgetting. Like it makes a lot of sense.
Like T1, do you think T1 comes out first in groups and Cloud9 wins in the final because it's hard to beat the same team twice?
I don't follow that.
Wise
I'm not
philosopher.
prescribed to that addiction method or whatever he does over there.
Once said. All right, Group B.
Yeah, it was Robespierre. I think.
Yeah. One, don't say it like that. It's Robespierre. It's not two. It's not two words. It's one word. It's not Rob Pierre. All right.
I think that one was Robespierre.
All right, Group B. Before you offend me even more, Damwon G2 JD. So JD Gaming to me is.
Bonjour.
And the
best
playing team, which could be our beloved evil geniuses.
Could be.
Listen. Here's the interesting thing.
Tell us.
A lot of the energy around JDG is extremely similar to the energy around FPX.
Yeah.
Like
It's really
feels the same. It feels exactly. Now, do I think this will happen twice in a row?
Maybe.
No.
But maybe. I do. I agree with you. When I say like they're the favorite,
would it be?
I'm like,
would it be really funny if it happened? Yes.
They are.
I would be extremely satisfied.
They are. I mean, funny enough, the second best. Them and Gen.G are basically already earmarked
the
for the
favorites.
final.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who the final's going to be. And
I don't agree with the Gen.G one. I think it's.
Who do you think's
No.
better than
Gen.G is
Gen.G?
very good.
he already said it. T1 and Cloud9. Next.
No. I did not say T1. T1's not been.
Well,
better
then
than
who's
Gen.G.
better than
It's
Gen.G?
Like the second split.
Cloud9.
Top esports.
Top esports. I think. I
Top
can see that.
esports.
All right. I'll.
We'll
I can go
allow
with
it.
you.
We
I
can
think.
judge.
I think Dam
Was it top or FPX?
I think
that was
Dam
number
one.
one?
It's top. Top is definitely like third.
Yeah.
Top is like right behind.
No, but I'm talking about when they went like 0-3 final day of groups. Was that FPX or was that top?
That was
I think it
FPX.
was.
I think
That was
it
definitely FPX.
I think they both might have.
Anyway, JDG I think is to me is actually, like you said, favorite with Gen.G. I am a little bit nervous because everyone is kind of hyping up, and it's real potential there for a failure. I think.
By the way,
Scoot, you
favorite
said
for
they're overrated. I don't think they're overrated. I think they're rated appropriately, but I think they're a dark horse. If they figure out their problems, they can win worlds. They're like
It's an organization that knows how to win worlds too.
and they're kind of like at that point where they've had these issues and they're shaky, and I'd put them below like T1 in that.
Correct.
It's like
And
T1
below
is really
Gen.G.
good, but has terrible drafts and stuff like that, whereas Dam1 is like has been struggling, but I could see them figuring it all out at Worlds and going on like a ripper.
This is a team that was 10-8 in the summer split. Didn't win the regional championship either. Had to go to regionals to make it. This is a team, I wasn't going to call it a group of death for a lot of reasons. I do think if you get a EG in there, it could be quite interesting. I do love this place for G2. And again, I feel like we've been sleeping on G2 because of their loss to Rogue in the finals. Like, where we were on this
That's
team,
not why I'm sleeping on them.
where we were on this team before that match against Rogue was like, this is the fucking greatest G2 team we've seen in like 4 years. This team is going to go to Worlds and be world beaters. We saw it already at MSI, where they made it to the semis. To me, this is not a Damwon team that I'm overly impressed with. I hate going like chalk, but to me, this is a JD1 G2 too.
I was fully prepared to come on this podcast in the last week at some point and be like, G2 is 100% getting out of this group. I think it is entirely more difficult at this point to say that, just because of how much turmoil there is going around their organization at the moment. And I do think it is extending down to their league players, because they've been like streaming and just having people like in their chat being either absurdly toxic or just asking all of these questions. Obviously, the elephant in the room here is like, Carlos hanging out with Andrew Tate and then getting suspended from the organization, and them asking like,
well, potentially now they're not. They
creator,
apparently
like,
haven't gotten their
on?
spot in Valorant and the VCT.
Yeah, like there's a shitload going on there. I think, I would agree with you. I still thought they were. I said it. If they lose the final, they'll still be the best team in Europe. And
they did.
I mean, to a point,
on
a talent perspective, I do believe that.
Yep.
I just think it is entirely more difficult. They have another hurdle.
I also
to
think
climb.
that the meta.
If they are able to get out,
the meta suits.
I think they'll get
their
tricky.
weak point is their bot lane, and I think they lost because of that. Comp and Trimby played out of their minds on Rogue, and that like they won through them. We talked about them having like a perfect series. So the fact that they have Broken Blade, Caps, and Yankos on the top
I would also
side,
say Malrang played out of his mind.
Malrang did also play out of his mind. Yeah. My issue with Malrang is it was very early
shoddy.
game, but so I do think that to me it's like JD Gaming first, barring the scripted massive upset of the favorite of the tournament not making it out of groups.
Right.
And then it's like,
G2
does Damwon figure out their shit? If they do, then they become like they have a real shot of winning everything. And if they don't figure out their shit, I think G2
I love a Broken Blade Yankos combo here.
I will say, I think there's a good percentage chance that G2 gets out, and I wasn't, having watched like a decent amount of LCK this year at like 5 a.m. for some reason. Don't ask me about my sleep schedule; it's like pretty shot. And I was unemployed at the time, so it was like perfect. I was like, oh, let me just fucking wake up at 5 and watch the LCK for no reason. They didn't impress me, but I still think they're like, it's hard to discredit them. I think they're very consistent. Like, that's what I would say. It's like the ceiling. They have probably the tightest like ceiling to floor window among some of the teams here. So it's gonna be like hard to knock them out of this group. I'm just gonna say JDG and Damwon get out. Honestly, because fuck Carlos right now.
Yeah, fuck him. But also, I don't know. I felt like they did look a little bit lost at the end of the split. So I'm hoping. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they bounce back. I do think people are down.
One LCS team, one LCK team, one LPL team, and one LEC team. I'm fucking across the board, baby.
Loving everyone. I do agree though. I think people are sleeping on G2 a little bit because they lost in the finals and it was a 3-0. And I think they can beat Damwon. I could see, see them being the reason. Like, I could see G2 and Damwon figuring their shit out, and JDG kind of like, that's how JDG gets knocked out. They lose like one match to G2, they lose one match to Damwon, they lose one match to the EG, and then suddenly they're in third place, and it's like, what the hell happened?
I can promise you that's not happening.
Yeah, probably not.
I feel like, I don't know, you guys can agree or disagree here, but we're at kind of like a weird tipping point, right? Because we could either get a Worlds this year that resets this entire conversation on like, oh, our smaller regions getting better, or like China, Korea losing their dominance. Like, you could get T1, EDG, JDG, Damwon, Top Esports, Gen.G, everybody comes out of groups. The play-in teams come out of groups. They smash people. And
we could have an LPL,
over,
LCK Worlds, and it's just going to be so shit.
But And it feels like we're kind of due for that, or we're
Nah.
like due to break
I
this
think-
like
I
kind
think
of
we're-
glass ceiling that's
that's what
holding
we had
the
last
rest of like
year.
the international scene back. But that's like the start of it.
Yeah.
I think for it to be a thing, it needs to be consistent.
All right.
And
Well,
we're kind of like this is the tipping point almost.
Could be.
um,
Group C.
did I give you the odds? JD 1.23, Damwon 4.22, G2 10.71. Hello. And the play-in qualifier 20.45.
I actually kind of like the damn one, 4.22.
I don't.
I think that's like you could sprinkle a little bit on it. I don't love, to be honest.
I
Nifty.
love,
love-
these next options.
Yeah.
For the
Group C, the real group of death.
No way.
GAN
I think Rogue
Esports.
might win this
no,
group.
you're joking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Me?
Group.
I'm not
No,
joking.
Group D is the group of death.
Group D. It's like group. It's Group C, Group D, especially because of the play-ins.
How's
Because
what?
of the play-ins, like
How's
RNG
Group
can
D
get
the group of
placed
death?
in there, and that's I think worse.
Yeah, but 100 Thieves isn't getting out of that fucking
R-
group.
Yeah, that's my
RNG
point.
is-
Like that's it. Group death
RNG is
the best
required.
team.
RNG is required to be in Group D. If they make it out,
Yeah,
they're
well,
going
they-
to
You
Group
said
D.
it's the best team.
So, and Group C, we have GAM Esports, Rogue, TBD, and Top Esports.
TBD, they're holding for possibly DRX, shit team. Looking for like that won't make this a group of death.
What the fuck?
No, it won't be.
Rogue's winning this group.
I think Top wins it actually.
Rogue wins this
so
group.
top-
top comes in second.
So top is definitely the
There you go.
third best rated team
Yeah.
in the tournament. It's between top Gen.G and JDG. I'm with Scott. I think you're going to get a overhyped, not as good team in this group. I think Rogue, coming off of confidence with a Odoamne Malrang combo, Larssen stepped up. And to your point earlier, like Comp and Trimby, like I fucking love this Rogue team coming in with some swagger, gonna be methodical. The one thing that they don't have is the creativity necessarily to beat a top esports. Like I think that in particular, trying to over-indexes on creativity.
And
In
aggression,
their gameplay and aggression, which
which I think
doesn't necessarily
Malrang
suit
loves. Malrang
Right.
will love to like do, but I don't. My issue with
I don't know the
Malrang is
rest of
his
the team.
success comes off of early game champs. So what happens if they go and start nerfing or like they start banning people that he used to succeed? Now Hecarim is apparently disgusting and will be disgusting, and there's a few like that. So maybe
yeah, I've heard he's OP.
I don't know. I'm still nervous about Rogue. I'm like, this is the year Rogue wins Worlds probably, and I'm gonna the whole time I'm gonna be like, I don't know.
not gonna-
they'll
you're
get
not
to
gonna bet on
finals.
one
it's gonna
time.
feel.
They'll
You're not
get
gonna
3-0.
bet on-
They'll
so
win
much
3-0 in
better
finals,
when
and
you
I'll be
get
like,
that
I still don't
sweet
know.
release.
Is it possible? I don't know. They've won Worlds, and I'm like, no, Ryan might take the champs. The
How
cut
much?
back.
I mean, how much is it gonna take? Like I gave you
I've
the
been
Rogue
burnt.
team that
I've been
wins the
burnt for,
LEC
like, 3
finally,
years
and now
now.
I'm telling you that it's the Rogue team that's gonna finally leave groups, and you're just
I've been burnt for 3 years.
Yeah, but,
now.
but
Not
doesn't,
listening.
doesn't Rogue?
You gotta open your
doesn't
ears.
I
Rogue
also
Rogue
worry
is
I'm
so
gonna
plays?
believe. What happens?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
believe.
The minute
and
you
then not
believe, then
going
they'll
to get out.
lose. Yes,
That's my
correct.
problem. Also,
That's
So
exactly
it's-
what.
well, I have a problem with Chris agreeing with me. It scares the shit out of
Dude,
me.
what I'm gonna do
So-
is I'm gonna steal a page out of your playbook. Rogue has to come in second because they have to go into like a harder losers type bracket run in the qualifiers, in the quarters and then semis, and so I think this is gonna be a bit chalky. I think you're gonna get top coming in first, which they are an abysmal 1.13. The play-in qualifier, assuming that it's a DRX or other quality team, is at 7.30. And then Rogue is in second at 10.71. GAM is getting all the disrespect at 25.29. I will not be betting on that. Rogue at first place, though, 10.71. Kind of tasty, but I think there's no value here. I would take maybe Rogue in one matchup in that group. But, yeah, they're at a 10.71.
God damn it!
Yeah,
They might be dead in the water now. You're talking about.
I
it
know.
too
I'm worried. I do think that this is a good group for Rogue, though. I think top comes out on top. Top first could see Rogue if they're playing really, if the meta and everything clicks, and sure. But Rogue top esports 1 and 2, I think that's good. Does DRX have to come into this group? I think they do.
It would,
that's the only option.
It would be a DRX, Saigon Buffalo, EG, Beyond Gaming type vibe.
But if DRX gets out, it's the only possible group.
If DRX gets out, it's the only group that they can get in.
Yeah. So and I'm not concerned about them. I think out of everyone, I just don't think they're very good.
They're definitely the softest Korean. I would say they're the softest team in the LCK/LPL.
I think, and I would put them
I
comfortably
think they're better
on
than
par
Damwon,
with the
slightly.
best LEC not LCK, LCS teams. Yeah, so like I think someone like Rogue, G2, and Cloud9 can beat a DRX.
Yeah,
I think
there's also a reason why
better than
DRX
Damwon.
has the worst odds to win it all out of all of the China, Korea
Major
teams.
regions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
No. Rogue, Cloud9, G2, Fnatic, 100 Thieves, Mad Lions, EG. Those all have way worse. And I would give the LCS LEC major region credibility.
Sure.
But I'm saying
Listen,
DRX,
I think-
basically the top 8 teams to win are the 4 China and 4 Korea teams. Of those 8, DRX is in last place by quite a bit. Like
All right.
Damwon's in 7th at 11.9. DRX is in 8th at 30.34. So
Okay.
consensus.
That's not bad. Yeah.
DRX is not terrible.
They're
Group
just not
D.
good.
Flying Oysters,
Ooh.
Gen.G, 100 Thieves, and potentially RNG. To me, this is actually
Likely
the group
RNG.
of death. This
This
is
is the group of
actually the
death.
group of death. Because
I don't think it's a
Gen.G
group of
is
death,
the
it's just like
favorite.
100 Thieves isn't
Correct.
that good.
Gen.G's the favorites. I think
Correct.
Flying Oysters are way better. I think people are overlooking them. And I think
Not
RNG
us.
is
Not
like
us.
honestly, RNG is my second sleeper team to potentially win it.
Absolutely. And then God bless the poor
Like,
100
it's like the
Thieves.
dark horse team outside of top Gen.G.
No, I think if RNG finds form again, this team has already won something this year.
Yeah.
It's very hard to repeat that success, but
Yeah.
it's already
That's
look,
and
it's
that's
like
like to me. So it's like that's why, because you have the tournament favorite and then you have the MSI champs in one group. Like
I do
that's-
think that
that's
Gen.G
harder.
could let some people down. It's possible, but
I
the
think-
problem
I think
is me saying that, and they're playing Oysters and 100
Yeah.
Thieves, who aren't good enough to beat them.
I
Like,
think the problem with
they could make 10 mistakes
Yeah.
a game and still win that and still get out of.
I think the bigger issue with someone like Edward Gaming and Gen.G is that they play very controlled, and when you have like
Gen.G is so boring to watch.
so
dude.
boring, like it's just so dull. Like
So
to be
boring.
fair, the LCK has been so boring, and I think when you throw in someone like an RNG,
G1.
and then the kind of, they can't predict your next move if you don't know your next move. 100 Thieves, it's gonna be tough for them.
Okay, but 100 like
So can 100
I think
Thieves
100
can Flying
Thieves got
Oysters?
exposed by Cloud9.
I don't think they got exposed. I think the problem with 100 Thieves is that I just don't think. One, I'm worried about Abadage playing on a big stage. He has never. That was his first. This was something we didn't talk about, but that was his first major stage tournament, and he visibly underperformed. So has he gotten the jitters out, and can he play like he does during the regular season, or is he still gonna have those jitters? I think that's like a big question mark. I would say that playing to the top side is such a boost to 100 Thieves, because Huhi and FBI were not playing at the level that we expect from them, whereas Someday and Closer were in the MVP discussion.
Totally.
So if Abadage now has learned to deal with his onstage jitters, and you have Someday and Closer playing at their, continuing to play and the meta suits them, I think 100 Thieves could do well. Now, I don't know if they're going to, do I think they're going to upset Gen.G
Listen.
and, RNG? No.
No, like Ruler's going
But
to shit on their bot lane
Yes,
over and
yeah.
over and over and over.
that's
like,
like-
that's all that game's gonna be.
That's the difficulty there. I actually don't know about how I feel about Flying Oysters, because on the one hand they did really well, but on the other hand everyone good from their region has left. So I'm a bit.
Dude, I really like. I think this group
Definitely
is
like a top 5 name though. Rooting for
yeah.
him just because of the name.
You know the baseball team. They named after a baseball team.
I did not know that. I did not. know
Or they're
that.
owned
That's
by a
actually
baseball
pretty
team.
cool.
So, little fun fact there. I
Very
kind
fun.
of, this is one of those groups where I just see probably it's going to be Gen.G and RNG that just get out. And that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's I don't really have much more to say about that. It's good.
Do you want? I mean,
like for me,
if-
it's like I want to say, yeah, somebody let somebody down, but I also don't like. I don't.
You
think
don't believe in it.
those are the teams that anyone's gonna like.
Okay.
They're not good enough to even get the letdown. Like they could play really bad league and still get
this
out.
is, I
Both of
do
those
think
teams.
this is the
I think it's worth watching to understand how good of league they're playing. But that's the only real reason because I don't think anybody's going to expose
because this is
them.
the group of death. It's going to be RNG. It's going to be Gen.G. Gen.G right now the odds are 1.28. For the play-in team, it's 3.20. I kind of want to just take a flyer on that play-in qualifier.
Yeah,
It's
I was
gonna
going
be
to say, I like the
RNG,
idea
and
of
I think
RNG.
RNG could absolutely win against Gen.G. And so
A week
3.20.
of warm-up as well. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the minute that gets filled in with the RNG name in it, you're going to see those odds tank. You're just going to like. So I think right now where there's some level of uncertainty.
I don't think that tank. Those are the odds pretty much.
No, but like they're
They
baking
know
some
who
level.
they're
and
predicting. They're predicting. But
Yeah,
I
of
do
course.
think there are
Predicting
people
that
not
RNG
taking
gets
it.
in there?
Like the market will drive it down just by picking it up. Yeah.
Sure, a little bit, but I think that's going to be very similar to what you see. Like Gen.G is this tournament favorite overall.
Yeah.
They're like
that's true.
Well, them and JDG.
Yeah, but there's other groups like Edward Gaming. EDG is at 2.1. So, I think that they could drop down to a 2.5.
Look, I think
Scoot's
think
like,
it's very similar
take
to
your
what
point
you'll
and
get.
shove it up your ass.
I think it will be like I don't think it'll drop down as much as
Okay,
you think.
fine.
look, I think it'll get it like to 2.8. Again, yeah, not a shit ton, but I just think right now is a good time while there's still some ambiguity and before we've
I don't
seen
disagree.
them rip some teams apart.
I don't disagree with the point. I just think it's similar to what you're going to get.
Okay.
All right.
I agree that you should take it now if you're going to take it between the two times.
Thank you.
So now, outrights. Outrights, we've kind of covered them a little bit. Like, it's not as predicted. You have Gen.G in first place at 2.55. Then you have the next three are going to be the LPL teams, JD Gaming at 3.3, Top Esports at 3.59, RNG at 7.51. Then you get T1 at 7.68, Edward Gaming at 7.86, and then it goes down one at 11.92, so it's a big jump there. And then it more than doubles for DRX at 30. Then you have Rogue at 35.63, so that's interesting that Rogue is actually rated that high out of all the Western teams. Cloud9 comes in at a 43.74, G2 at a
stop there.
54.97.
You can stop
and
there.
then, I think
Cloud9.
after that it becomes irrelevant, 86 and so on.
I mean, Cloud9's winning it all. Like, this isn't a joke.
I think like my biggest issue with like Gen.G is what I just said, is they like playing such a boring controlled style. What happens when you have like JD Gaming or a Top Esports or an RNG just throwing themselves at you?
But I mean, what did Damwon do?
They won, then
Like,
they lost.
Yeah, they won Worlds.
Yeah.
Like, what, that was
Yeah,
kind of
but
the
I don't
same
think.
gist.
Yeah,
It's like,
okay, fine.
do I think they're as good as that Damwon team?
Yeah,
No.
that's kind of like
I don't think they are. That's kind of the problem.
I don't think
that's
they,
where
I
I'll
think
agree
they were
with you.
controlled, but I don't think they were boring. And the truth is
They
that,
were
like,
definitely less
But this is
boring
the
than
other
Gen.G.
thing, though.
Gen.G plays so
But hold on,
boring.
but Damwon won and then they lost. So last year they lost to EDG.
Yeah.
So to me, if Gen.G
What's
is
the
an updated version of Damwon,
I don't think they are updated. That's the interesting part.
so you think JDG wins
There's
it?
there's some real veterans there. I mean, I actually don't think either of them win it because I still think Cloud9 wins it, and I do think if Rogue gets hot, it gets really interesting. So I might sprinkle a little bit of capital there just to see what happens because this is a very different feeling Rogue team than like prior ones. I actually listened to that entire like voice comms video after the
Yeah.
LCS finals or the LEC finals weekend. It was like very cool to hear some of their perspectives, and also like them going into the final game, it's like Larssen literally saying to them, he's like, I've been here before. We're not going to make the same mistakes. I don't want you guys to ever feel that. Like, we're going to... I don't know. It feels a little different. So if they get tricky, it could get interesting for Rogue. Yep. They got a little fire. But
they're going to have a confidence that they've never had before.
The answer is Cloud9.
The answer is Cloud9.
NT1. You have to bet on fake.
I like EDG.
It's like Tiger Woods.
7.86 on EDG. I think that's not a bad one. I think RNG.
I really hate
like
that,
RNG.
to be honest for you. I like RNG at 7.5.
I like top more than I like.
I'll take top.
Like
I'll
EDG.
take top as well.
You want top?
I think so. I think top's like. I think top's a.
Okay.
I think top's a legit.
Should we?
You're a little far away for that, but
Should we pick 2 teams?
We can work
each?
it out.
Should we pick 2 teams each now for who we in the best cumulative record?
No.
Okay, fun.
I mean, you know exactly what I would pick.
Yeah. All right. Go for it. Who are you taking?
I'm so
Cloud9. You have to take Cloud9 because you said that. So you've been
T1.
saying Cloud9 BMB. So you have one of yours is
Cloud9
Cloud9 and the other one is EG. And all right.
T1. What?
No, I think he's saying for me, not for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
you have to take Cloud9 because you said they got to win.
No,
So.
Scoot. I'll give Scoot T1 and Cloud9. That's his dream matchup. That's
because he actually doesn't believe that Cloud9.
No, I
will
really
win Worlds.
do. But you have been the most vocal. You picked Cloud9 to win the LCS. You had all that. So
wait, are we talking about the 2 teams to
No, I
reach
picked
finals,
100
or are we
teams,
talking
the
about the 2 teams just like
But I did pick him to win.
two potential winners?
I mean, the final's going to be Cloud9 T1 in San Francisco. Literally, it's actually scripted.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a joke.
It is in San Francisco.
Possibly Fakers last season versus North America's first chance to ever win a final. Like,
Do you think they?
I will
yeah.
say,
I don't know if it's
I
Fakers
do-
last season though.
you know,
We'll see.
I don't think that esports is like the WWE where there are script writers, but every so often I do wonder if Scott like knows the people who are writing the script and
just-
like has some insight. Like
I know, he has some
he crafts the
oracle.
narratives
I
perfectly.
mean, can you think of a better setting
No.
for like all of this to happen
No.
than like a brand new Chase Arena
You've
in
also
San
just
Francisco,
thrown
like,
things
all of
around
this
that it's
shit.
like they're gonna go this way, that way, and it will happen like this, and you're like, all right, Scoot, and then it goes exactly
happens. Yeah,
to
it's
plan.
crazy.
And it's not even this like vague. It's like he'll 3-0, 3-1, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, undefeated like this, and it's like, what the fuck just happened there?
Yeah, yeah. When he called
yeah,
that 3
I don't know.
weekend, that was wild.
It's like when he's Neo gets plugged into the Matrix.
Yes.
He's like, that's
you're
Scoot's like little moment there. So you take.
Well, you can have all your like logic and stuff, but when it comes down to esports, there's still this like factor of end of the day, like
Yeah.
anyone can beat
Yeah.
anyone.
Well,
you can make the smallest.
I think
fucking
we're going to
mistake.
see a Chinese team win it
Still
this
get
year. So I'm going to take RNG and JD.
Okay. Yeah, I was
I
gonna
like,
say
if I'm gonna pick a Chinese team, I like.
I was
top,
gonna say
but-
top and Gen.G. Because basically the tournament favorites, or first or second, has always reached finals in the last couple of years. FPX build, but Damwon reached it and stuff like that. So
I think I called that year.
Yeah, the first year. But last year, Damwon was one of the
They made
favorites.
it
They
and
made it to
lost.
finals.
You had inside info.
So I think I would go, yeah, also not
actually
your call.
cheated that year?
I mean,
Actually,
cheated
I
that year.
actually
cheated.
didn't. Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about it, but that was actually cheating.
That was if I took you in front of the
I
SEC,
actually-
that
I
definitely
actually-
would qualify for insider trading.
Insider
So,
trading.
talked
Insider
talked
trading,
to a
insider
scriptwriter
trading.
that year.
Yeah,
and I did
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Legit.
so I think it's Gen.G top for me.
I got JD and RNG, and Scoot has T1 and Cloud9.
Well, that's my. I mean,
That's it.
yeah, sure. I mean, Cloud9's
I don't
winning.
think, Chris,
I
you
have them both in
cannot pick
finals.
Cloud9 because you're the one who's beating the drum more than anyone.
Well,
No,
would
I
pick
think end of
Cloud9
the
if
day,
Scoot
if
hadn't
I'm
taken it.
picking,
No, you can take
Listen,
the same
I'm gonna-
team.
No.
Yeah, no, you can.
he doesn't actually believe they're gonna
Yeah,
win.
no,
I'm telling you.
we're making the rules. You can pick the same team.
I also don't want
So-
you to because I think it's less likely
so
to happen if you do.
if you really believe Cloud9 is that good, take them.
I really do believe
Can I
that
just
they're
throw
that
in?
good.
I want to
So
be
who would you
very
take
clear.
them
Like, I
over?
think top is the best option from China to win.
Who would you take them over, JD or RNG?
JD. I think you're going
So
to
you-
get an RNG Cloud9 final.
All right. Well, there you have it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this
There is only one
prolonged, long
final.
episode.
There's only one final.
Thank you very much for all your support recently. Our videos have been popping off. We really appreciate it. We notice it. So thank you, everyone. Please hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, join our Discord. We're going to be running potentially a couple of competitions to win some stuff. Keeping it vague for now, but there's a potential
We've got
there.
some
And
interesting
if you
stuff
want to
coming
win,
up too.
then you need to be in the Discord. So find the link in the comments on Twitter. You can find us on all social media at Best of Three. It's pretty easy. Links are
So easy.
everywhere for our Discord. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support. And we'll see you next week where we'll be covering Playins.
Toodaloo.
And like, if you've watched this long, just fucking hit the subscribe button. We got 1,900 new viewers out of nowhere, and then they just none of them hit the button.
No,
Well,
actually,
a few of them did
did.
actually. So thank you for that. And also this right here to all my North American fans. It's all set. The stage is set, baby. It's time to go.
Bye, everyone.
And cheers.
Toodaloo.